All right, guys, so we are tackling our apple tree today, and I'm pretty sure this tree has what's called like a leader or a modified leader. So it comes up from the bottom there, and you can see it splits into three. And then this one comes all the way up. So we're basically gonna take some of these top branches, probably what would you say, Corey, like 2 feet off the top? A foot?
Well, yeah, maybe 3 foot off the top.
3 foot off the top.
Main leader.
Yeah, and we're gonna leave all the main branches, but we're just gonna get in here and kind of clip it. We've got the pole saw. Corey's got a pole saw. I've got my little Felcos, my clippers. We've got some loppers. And then I do have some of this horticultural spray. It's a fungicide, copper fungicide, for mainly the pear tree. We're also gonna tackle the pear tree today, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and treat, we're gonna go ahead and treat both trees. This is the pear tree. With that copper fungicide. I especially need to do the pear tree. I lost one of the main branches on this pear tree last year, so with that cut there, I'm going to take the rest of these branches down a little bit as well. So I have to preface this whole video by saying that I am a newbie. I do not know much about pruning fruit trees. I am learning as I go. So I really didn't want to do this video as like a how-to, because to be honest, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Unfortunately, my husband decided to use this pole saw on this branch and made a huge scar in the tree trunk. So again, we are learning as we go, but I was really bummed about that. So I'm going to have to do some research and figure out what we can bandage up the trunk with. We should have just used the loppers for that part. I do know that when you're trimming these sorts of trees, you want to look for any branches that are crossing each other or growing into the canopy of the tree. So I went in there with my clippers and tried to do some more strategic pruning. I am concerned about this tree getting too big, so we did take some of the branches down. Last year, we didn't do any pruning this time of year, and from everything I've read and researched, it's better to do some pruning than to do no pruning at all. So that was the philosophy that we tried to go with. There was definitely lots of discussion between my husband and I about what branches we should and shouldn't be taking, so we did try to take our time with the process. Next, it was time to move on to this rose. I believe this is categorized as a shrub rose. It has really tiny clusters of blooms, and it blooms red. Although I thought I could get in here with my hand shears, I decided to let Corey help me with the loppers to just take a lot of the bulk of this rose down, and then I ended up going back in and fine-tuning this pruning. While Corey was working on the rose, I moved on to the pear tree. Now, we did have a really good harvest of pears last year. Again, I'm a novice. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but I'm trying to, remove some of the branches here of the pear. One issue I had last year is I left way too much fruit on these trees. The fruit got really heavy and weighed down on all the branches, and then I had some breakage. So I tried to keep that in mind as I was pruning. Another dormant plant that I decided to tackle today was this smoke bush. So this smoke bush has shot up kind of some big leaders. So I decided to get in here and just sort of to size control it to take some of those branches off the top. I really love the dark kind of purple burgundy foliage of the smoke bush. It's such a beautiful plant. I tried to remove some of the lower branches and try to reshape the structure a little bit, and so I'm hoping once it leaves out that it will look great. Then I moved on to this black lace elderberry. I love the flowers on this bush. They are disc shaped and white, but I have to tell you, I would not recommend using them in any bouquets because they do not have a good smell. But it's still a really pretty shrub and I like it in the landscape here. So then I went ahead and decided to tackle these two smaller roses. One of them is a grafted rose and it blooms kind of a lavender color. The other one is a pink and white bloom, and I believe it's also a shrub type of rose. I'm going to have to go back in my gardening journal and see exactly what the names of these two are. I enjoy roses, but I don't have very many of them in my garden. These are two smaller ones I planted a few years ago, and I like them all right, but I would have to say they're not my favorite flowering perennial that I have in my garden space. Then I went back to the rose that Corey had lopped back for me and did some more fine tuning. I think one of the things I dislike about roses is every time I get poked, I get a pretty big, itchy, sort of infected area of my skin. One thing I did want to do today was treat all of these roses with a copper fungicide. In fact, I'll be using this copper on everything today, but this rose in particular got black spot really bad, so I wanted to hit it with the copper. And then I went ahead and treated the pear tree with the copper as well. I wanted to be sure to do this on kind of a sunny day. There was no rain in the forecast, and I tried to stay downwind of all of this copper spray. I went back and treated the rest of the roses for that black spot fungus, but right after I was done with this, I went inside and took a shower, washed my hair and everything. I felt like the copper spray just kind of got all over me. So in the future, I definitely want to wear like a hoodie and some more protective clothing. I ended up treating the apple tree with the copper spray as well. Next, it was time to turn my attention to the backyard, specifically my GreenStalk. So in this GreenStalk, you can see I have all my strawberries, but they are looking pretty terrible. So I wanted to get in here and start to groom them a little bit, see how they're doing, and clean them up. I can tell it's time because my strawberries are starting to push some fresh growth. So it's really time to just get rid of all these old dead leaves and make this look a little nicer. This is one of those tasks I've been wanting to do for a couple weeks. I just haven't taken a minute to do it. It's right here as I enter my greenhouse, so I see it every time I go in the greenhouse. So it's really been bugging me, and I'm going to be glad to have it done. So I did notice in some of these pockets a little bit of mildew. So I'm a little concerned about that. I'm hoping these strawberries will bounce back once the weather starts to warm up even more. Last season, I got both the lid for this GreenStalk and the little trellises that are sticking out of the top. And honestly, I didn't really use the trellising very much, but the lid has been really handy. So I don't know if I need to open up that lid and sort of vent this a little bit more, and if that would help cut down on the mildew. But, you know, we do have really wet winters here in the Pacific Northwest. Here you can see I moved that trellis aside to try to get more of those dead leaves off of there. So the technique that worked the best was just to sort of use my hands, but I did have my Felcos as well just to trim any stubborn leaves. And here you can see all of the debris. I sort of just kind of threw it down on the ground as I was grooming and then scooped it all up into a little pot. And I was really shocked at how much dead foliage I was able to remove from my strawberries. And here is how the GreenStalk planter looked after it was all groomed. I think there was a few pockets where I lost some plants, but overall it looks so much better. It looks like it's ready for spring. So now I'm going to get in here with some granular fertilizer and get that task done as soon as possible. And the last thing I wanted to trim back today was this little hydrangea. This is one of the, I believe it's a quick fire, it's a smaller variety of hydrangea, and I've noticed it's been looking pretty ragged. I can also tell it's time to start trimming these because the little budded areas are starting to swell. So I went ahead and tackled this hydrangea, but I still have my 3 big panicle hydrangeas that I'll probably be pruning in a different video. Along the fence line, you can also see that a lot of my daffodils are starting to come up. We've had such a mild winter, and I can definitely see that spring is coming. It's been warmer, it's been lighter longer, and so it's really exciting to see all my daffodils coming up. So I definitely got a lot done in the garden this weekend. I was able to get all the fruit trees pruned back, and treated with the copper. Same with the roses in my side garden. I got my black lace elderberry and smoke bush pruned up, and then got the GreenStalk cleared out and this little hydrangea. So at the end of this long work weekend here in the garden, I definitely was feeling like I had gotten a lot of these spring tasks accomplished. Now, next steps are to dig in a granular fertilizer into all my roses. Of course, I will also be fertilizing my blueberries soon. There's still always so much left to do in the garden, but thanks for hanging out with me for today. This hydrangea looked so much better when it was all pruned up. Thanks for hanging out with me in the garden today, guys. If you need me, I'll be doing some gardening. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.